fights. Johnny's 58, chasing the lights. Both had battles that brought them low, but they found a way to steal the show. Health concerns were weighing them down till they found a path that turned it around. Carnivore diet, they took the lead, finding strength in the promises they keep. Now they're living wild, living free, healing body and mind, just wait and see. Tune into the truth every single week. Real talk with Brian and Johnny, that's the peak. 8 p.m. on YouTube, gather near, uplifting vibes, let's give a cheer.
All right, it is Wednesday evening again. I am Brian and Johnny over there. Sorry, we have a delay. So Johnny, how are you doing? Over this way, that way, if I can point correctly.
No, we do. Brian, how are you doing today? Yep.
Good.
Brian, you're over there, I think.
Opposite way.
I'm
all right.
doing pretty good, Brian. I got a chance to get out and do some. Yeah, got a.
Okay, so
I got a chance to get out and do some sprints today, so that was kind of cool. Had to take it easy, but it worked out okay.
that's good. That's good. All right, so our topic tonight is Halloween with Carnivore. We are about 2 weeks out from Halloween, so we thought this would be a good time. And we thought we'd talk about the big part of it would be talking about like different things that you can do for Halloween that does not involve candy. So passing out different things to kids, maybe instead of candy, and maybe what you can do to try and keep yourself from getting down that rabbit hole of eating candy yourself for Halloween. So let's first of all say hi to some people that are in the chat. Got Rick here from the Haunted Duck Pond. Hello, Rick. And Paul is here. Hello. And we've got Target Prime Rib. Yes, pointing the other direction. It gets confusing, trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't know this because it's like a mirrored thing. So it's the opposite of what you're thinking. So I'm looking and I'm like, he's over there, but no, he's actually over there. So it gets confusing. Anyway, Ivy, hello. Okay, pass out burger patties. So you're saying you cook the burger patties and pass them out that way? Is that what you're saying? That would be interesting. Rick says, say no to candy and yes to iguana. Don is here. Hello. Main runner. Yes, he says sure. So he's going to cook burger patties and pass them out. All right. John, I can't tell if you're frozen. It looks like you might be frozen, Johnny.
Am I back now?
Oh, I can. Okay, I can see you now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've had a little bit of technical difficulties here so far. Sorry about that, everybody. Don is on vacation, I guess, in South Carolina. Okay, it's nice. I was just in South Carolina on vacation a couple weeks back. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Scared to stiffness. Yes. It looks like his video might be working now, although it might be frozen again. Are you frozen again, Johnny? Yes, I think he's frozen again. That's okay. So, all right, we're going to talk about, like I said, about the Halloween stuff. First of all, I figured I'd start out with giving an update on how my hamstring thing is doing, because it's exactly 2 weeks today from when I injured it, tore my hamstring. And in case you haven't seen it, I'm going to show this one picture here. This is about a week ago. The upper area of my hamstring, the bruising, and you can see the yellow in here, which is actually healing where there was worse bruising. So that's where I was about a week ago. I do not have a current picture yet. I need to take another picture 1 week or 2 weeks at this point now. But the bruising is less than what it was then. There still is some bruising, but the recovery has gone really, really well. I'm pretty much walking normal at this point, and I've been going up and down the steps today without the aid of a crutch to kind of brace myself or anything like that. So just walking normal there. So that's going really, really well. I don't seem to have any pain anymore. I've been starting to do some physical therapy exercises to strengthen and stretch the hamstring. And I'm at 2 weeks. And, you know, for the type of tear I had, it should take 2 to 4 months for somebody my age. So that's the power of Carnivore and everything that I've been doing, healing very, very well. Let's see, catch up on comments here. I used to have a friend that passed out silver dollars. You know, this is funny. My wife and I, when we first got married and had our house, first Halloween at our new house, we ran out of candy to pass out. And this was years ago, right? So I was standard American diet myself, eating candy myself, that type of thing. But we ran out of candy to pass out. And at our wedding, we had something called a dollar dance where everybody would give $1 to dance with the bride or the groom. So we had a bunch of dollars. So my wife went to the store to get more candy and said, just pass out dollars. This kid comes up, I give him $1, and he starts walking away screaming, they're giving out dollars. And I kid you not, like 20 kids ran to my house. So I took care of the 20 kids. I turned off the light and I called my wife and I said, don't worry about getting the candy. We're done passing out this year. We're done. It was miserable fail. That was like 20, I guess it was 28 years ago. Oh, Rick says, glad your healing is going well. Thank you, Rick. It really has been. Let's see. So Ivy wants to try the iguana meat that Rick has. I've never tried iguana. I know Rick has. What about you, Johnny? You ever tried iguana? Are you there, Johnny? Uh-oh. Okay. I don't think Johnny can hear me. Can everybody else hear me? Can you all hear me? Say yes in the chat if you can. Nobody's saying anything in the chat.
I got you, Brian. I don't know if you can hear me, but I got you. It's just breaking up really bad.
Okay. Okay, Rick says he can hear me. So I guess, Rick, does it sound like I'm breaking up or not?
Right. What about me, guys? Can anybody hear me?
I heard you right there. That sounded fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry that we're having some difficulties here. Nobody's responding other than Rick said that he could hear me. Okay,
Yeah, the
Rick
internet's
says
been
Johnny
crazy
is
at my
the one
house today.
breaking up.
Difficulty.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Johnny, if you can hear me, we're going to start talking about our Halloween topic here. Do you want to get us started and talk about the different options that you were thinking of that people could use instead of passing out candy? Uh-oh. I don't think Johnny can hear me again. So I'll get us started. So here's something Johnny had sent me. I'll put this up here. This was just to kind of
Yeah.
show
First of all,
prices. Oh, he can hear. Go ahead. Oh, he dropped. Okay. All right. So hopefully Johnny will get back in here in a second. I think he lost his connection altogether. But so Johnny had sent this to me, and I believe this is down in North Carolina, where he was just looking at how expensive candy has gotten. So you can see now he's got 1848 is the price here. I can't tell. Is this like a? It looks like it's some sort of fun pack. Okay, it says 50 bags Halloween mix. And then this other one he had here, 1798 on sale, I guess, for 1698. 200 pieces, different candy. So that just kind of shows how expensive candy has gotten. Well, I'm waiting for Johnny to get back here. Let's see. 40 more is here. Hello. Peter, Papa Carnivore is here. Hello. Yes, I wouldn't pay $1 for that candy either. All right, so I still don't have Johnny. I just got a text. Let me see if that's him. That is him. Okay, he is restarting his computer, so he'll probably be a couple minutes. So while we're waiting, what is this? Okay, is that Carnivore candy just got back? I'm not sure what we're saying there, but okay. So anyway, while we're waiting for Johnny, some of the things I was thinking of that people can do instead of passing out candy, so they don't feel guilty about giving candy out to kids and, you know, feeding the whole idea of eating badly and so forth. Some of the ideas would be like things like stickers or even like coloring books, that kind of stuff. They're not very expensive for those types of things. So those are some good ideas for little kids. And yes, Johnny is a ghost. Hopefully he will be back. He's playing tricks on us here for Halloween, I think. Let's see, did he just text me again? No, okay. What else we got? Paul says lights out. I'll be in Richmond, Virginia and Hot Springs, Virginia. Okay. So I am not that far from there. I live in the Fredericksburg area. So not too far from there. Oh, Johnny is back. Maybe. I see a blank screen though.
I'm coming, Brian, I promise.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Can you hear me? Oh, he dropped again. Oh no. All right. Okay. Sorry. It says I just left and came back to this picture of the candy. Yeah, we were just showing how expensive candy has gotten. Johnny sent those over to me before we started. Here's a good one. Oh, sorry, right here. Dollar Tree party gift bags. Lots of stuff probably at the Dollar Tree stores that you can get that are affordable for passing out for Halloween as well. How is your hamstring feeling? So I did talk about this a little bit. I'm feeling quite a bit better. I'm walking pretty much normally, going up and down steps. And to get Johnny back in here. There we go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brian. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right. So it's just giving another update on my hamstring here. Yeah, things have been much better. I still have a little bit of bruising, but overall it's a lot better. I'm at exactly 2 weeks today from the injury, and for somebody my age, it's supposed to take 4 to 8 weeks, so 1 to 2 months of healing, and I'm just about there already after 2 weeks. Like, I think another week I'm going to be really good. I'm probably like 80-85% right now, I think. So that's good. All right. I think you're staying connected this time. It's working.
I switched over to my phone. My computer, I don't know. I just restarted it, but while it was doing its thing, I said, let me just sign on my phone. So you might have to read the comments, Brian, because everything is like this big to me right now.
Okay. All right. Linda
Sorry
is
about the
here
guy.
too. Hello.
Hey, Linda.
Let's see. Good, Brian. I deal with bad pain in my back and hip all the time. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't say I necessarily had really bad pain, but before I started Carnivore, I had issues sleeping in bed at night where my back, particularly my lower back and my hips, would get really, really sore, and I couldn't sleep more than an hour or two in bed, and I'd have to move to downstairs to a recliner for the rest of the night and try and sleep because it was just too sore. And within the first couple of weeks on Carnivore, that healed for me. So obviously, I didn't have as bad of back issues and hip issues as what you have. Hopefully, over time, yours will start to continue to get better and won't be as bad for you. Paul says the Dollar Tree store is now $1.50. That could be. Walmart is cheaper by a lot. That very well could be.
Yeah. So, Brian, have we got into the discussion of the alternative to candy? Have we got into that yet?
Yeah, I started to a little bit. I talked about, possibly handing out stickers or like coloring books to little kids. And then I got asked again about the hamstring, so I started bringing that up again, and then you came back. So that's all we've talked about so far. So I've done a lot of talking. Now that you're doing good, why don't I turn it over to you so that you can talk a little bit about some of the ideas you had here for Halloween?
All right. Well, who was it? Somebody just said about Dollar Tree being $1.50, and I did go to Dollar Tree today. And Walmart might be cheaper on some of the stuff, but I just bought some stuff here. So this is if I can find my camera there. I got this at Dollar Tree. It's 1, 2, 3, it's 6 pieces. It's these little rings, not rings, but they're fake spiders. But these kind of have a purple on them, so they may be geared more towards girls. But something you can hand out, sparkly spiders. There was I think $1.25 for 6 of them. Maybe for some older kids, I would enjoy actually having these word search puzzles. It's $1.25, and they had plenty of them at Dollar Tree. Walmart might be cheaper. You might could find them online even cheaper in bulk. When I was a kid, Brian, in school, we used to always get these little balsa wood airplanes, and you would have a rubber band. You pull it back and fly your little airplane. Well, mine would break every day, but I found this. This is I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of a foam. It's like a balsa wood airplane, but it's made out of foam. It was, I think, $1.75. I think most little kids, 5, 6, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, would be really tickled to have something like that. If they eat a piece of candy, it's gone in 30 seconds. Some of these toys would last a day or two. I did get some stickers. I think the little ones would really enjoy the stickers. They could put it on their backpack or on their lunchbox or whatever, maybe on their Halloween costume. All the stuff between $1.25 and $1.75. And I thought some of it was pretty neat. I thought maybe for little kids, I didn't see any at Dollar Tree, but maybe for the real little ones, the below 3, you could get like a bottle of bubbles, the little soap bubbles, and mom or dad or maybe the older sibling could blow bubbles and let the little ones play with it, depending on how cold it is on Halloween night or whatever. But yeah, just trying to come up with ideas of things you can do. I loved it when I was a kid. I loved these. These are those little tops. You put them down and you spin them between your finger and your thumb, and they make a design as they spin. Of course, we had the bigger ones, but this is 8 up there for $1.50. So, not a lot of money. You could give out 8 of those, maybe, 2 to a kid or something. A few more things here. If you had some older kids or you didn't have a lot of kids coming, this was $1.50, I think, and it's like a watercolor painting thing. I think a lot of artistic kids would love that. That'd be kind of cool, especially if it's cold and rainy and they can't get outside and play. They could do some watercoloring, and that would be kind of cool. But anyway, just little things like this I was trying to think of, without spending a whole lot of money. I really, really love this. This is actually a puzzle. Look how cool that is. It's only 100 pieces, so it's probably appropriate for a 4, 5, or 6-year-old. mom or dad or older sibling could help them with that. And it's a beautiful picture, and it's a little 100-piece puzzle. This was $1. So that's just some ideas that I had. Now I bought a bag full of stuff and I spent $20. And I went today, Brian. I think I sent you a picture, an email. I went to Sam's and looked at the price of a bag of candy. And if you got that, you can show that.
Yeah. There you go.
So 200 pieces of candy there for basically $18. Now the price of candy has come down a good bit from 2 years ago. But still, I mean, if you're going to spend $18 on a bag of candy that we know is detrimental to the health of the children, you could spend, I don't know, 15, 18, 20 bucks at Dollar Tree and buy a lot of this stuff here. And there was some stuff I could have bought, but I didn't. For example, those little glow-in-the-dark bracelets that they can get, they had a pack of like 6 of those for $1.50. And you could give each little boy and little girl one of those, and they could wrap it around their wrist, and it glows in the dark. They had the necklace ones too. So you don't have to spend, $25, but if you go buy candy to give out, you're going to spend $18 to $20 per bag of candy. And they're just, not a lot of candy in those bags.
Yeah. All right.
They even had potato chips. They had Halloween themed potato chips. Did you get that one, Brian?
Yes. Here you go.
Yeah. That's $19 for some Halloween themed, I think they're 1 ounce or 2 ounce bags of potato chips. How crazy is that Halloween flavored or Halloween themed potato chips?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I got a couple of ideas here of food related things. So we talked a lot here. You talked a lot about different options that aren't food. But what about some potential food options? And one of the things I was thinking of was like beef jerky, like sticks of beef jerky, or little bags of pork rinds, stuff like that. Or just mini meat sticks, maybe even like Slim Jims or the biltong, things like that. So those are a few other options that are food type of options that you could pass out as well. Let me catch up on some comments here really quick. Put a sign up on my door, beware of vegan, and they run. So this is interesting. Peter asks, do vegans love candy bars? Now, I know not all candy bars are, but I think a lot of candy bars have milk chocolate in them, and that has some dairy, right?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be able to eat that if they're truly vegan because it comes from an animal, right?
Right.
Am I thinking right? I think I'm thinking
you're
right.
right.
So I wonder if they really do eat candy bars, because they probably shouldn't if they know what they're doing veganism wise. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I liked your video interview with Dr. Nelson, Brian. Thank you. Dr. Nelson's a good guy. I first got to meet him when I did a live stream in the morning with Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson and Alia Wells. That's when I first got to meet him. So we set this up and we did that interview. I think I've got another one in a couple months that I'm going to do with Dr. Nelson, and then another one with Dr. Kiltz coming up probably early next year. So that'll be fun to do again. 40 more says, and I think you mentioned these already, I think, Johnny, glow in the dark Halloween temporary tattoos come in packs of 200 for pretty dirt cheap. So
That's
those are
cool.
good ideas.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, someone else says that was a great good idea. I agree. So a lot of talk about vegetarians and veganism tonight. Oh, I am interviewing Dr. Nelson on November 4th. Cool. That is very cool. All right. Let me see. Some other ideas I was thinking of, and this is kind of outside of passing out for Halloween, but this is like more of, okay, how do you keep yourself on track and not give in to temptations, that kind of stuff. A lot of us might not do anything for Halloween, but some of us might have a party or something. You know, they have little kids and, you know, want to do things like that. So some options for like at parties, again, pork rinds, beef jerky are good options, but hard-boiled eggs, maybe you can do designs with, you know, some sort of pumpkin or ghost or something like that on your egg, that kind of thing. Any kind of like a egg type of casserole type of thing where you're staying carnivore-ish with it. Those are good ideas at like a Halloween party. So those are some good things there. Back to talking about passing out to the kids on Halloween. Something that I could have missed, but I don't think you mentioned. What about like some of those like mini toys, like whether it's like a Hot Wheels car or like what are those they called fidgets, those fidget thingies, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you heard of those?
Fidget.
Yes, something like that. Yep. Maybe like the packages of like vampire teeth, that kind of thing. Not really Cracker Jack here, but you know, like in Cracker Jack boxes, you get like the little play rings. Maybe there's something like that. Don't do it from the Cracker Jack box, but just, you know, those types of things. So like little toys, that kind of stuff. Those are different things also that you could do.
Hey, Brian.
Let's see. Yes.
Do you see me backstage on the other thing? I restarted my computer. Let's see if it'll work.
Backstage. Yes. So you want me to remove
bring
this one and add the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. You there?
Let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
Works pretty good.
Cool. Yep. Yes. Deviled eggs. So I was just talking about hard-boiled eggs. Deviled eggs is another good one for the parties. What else we got here? All right. I think we're caught up. Anybody else that's watching have any ideas, something that maybe we haven't talked about, either for passing out to kids or if you're going to be at like a Halloween party or something, put them in the comments and we'll bring it up and talk about it. Do you have any other ideas, Johnny, that you wanted to bring up for Halloween? Can you hear me? Uh-oh, did we lose Johnny again?
No, I'm here.
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm back.
Okay. Okay.
What a comment.
Did you have any other ideas or what's that?
This is like a Halloween show on my end. Everything's going wrong. Feels like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
No, but that was a great idea. The Dracula teeth, that would be great. Another thing I thought, you could hand out like a little toy and then give the child or the parent a little slip of paper that says, I'm donating $2 in honor of your child to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund to find out why so many young kids have diabetes, and hand it to them. You know?
Yeah.
And then make a donation for every kid you have to
nice.
juvenile diabetes, you know?
Yep. Yep. So let's take the other side of this coin, and I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? What would you say to a kid that's disappointed because they are in what's more the mainstream and they think that candy is okay and they would be expecting candy and they don't get it? What would you say to that person?
I would say, well, you know, my take would be, you know, candy's gone in a few seconds. One of these toys or something I'm doing, you know, I make a donation in your name, or giving you one of these toys will last a lot longer, and you're going to get plenty of candy from the other houses. This is something special that we thought we'd do for you.
That's a great answer. And I just put you on the spot with that too. We did not plan that, and he came out with a great answer. Good job.
Quick on my feet.
Right. Yeah. All right. Do you have any plans for Halloween? Are you doing anything?
My wife and I were just talking about that. I showed her all the stuff I bought at Dollar Tree earlier today, and we have a lot of kids in our neighborhood, a lot of kids. And so the $20 worth of stuff I bought would be woefully inadequate for all the kids. I do enjoy sitting out, watching all the kids come by in their costumes. And the overwhelming majority of kids, the last couple of years, have been very, very polite. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you. And I enjoy it. So I may go to Dollar Tree. I get paid tomorrow. I may go to Dollar Tree and buy, a bunch of stuff, keep my receipts. And then anything that we're not able to give away, I'll either donate or take back. But I think I'm going to sit out there for a couple hours anyway. I'm off. It's a Friday. I'm off. So I'm going to sit out there on the front porch and enjoy the kids. And I'm going to hand out these little toys. So the wife will probably join me. She may not stay out there the whole time, but it's something I look forward to every year. It's just kind of, we have a great neighborhood. The two kids that live right next door to us have kind of outgrown Halloween. But every year we would fix a special bag. It's a little boy and a little girl, but they're in middle school now, so they're probably not going to do much more trick or treating. And so we'd always sit out there and wait for them specifically because we'd have really nice bags fixed up for them. So I'm going to sit out there and hand out some of the stuff and hope that the kids aren't disappointed. And if they are, I'll say, look, this is something special just for you.
All right. And I got to say, I don't know that I have any plans. My kids are all grown up, so I don't have anything there. And I got to tell you, the last couple of years, we really haven't had anybody come to our house. Like, it's really slow in our neighborhood anymore. They do a lot of the, what they call it, trunk or treats, where they are in like either church or school parking lots. And they go around to the different trunks, the different cars. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. And then some of the busier neighborhoods, but mine's a little bit of an older area. It's not like a newer subdivision type thing. The houses are a little bit spread out, not too badly, but a little bit. So, and I'm at the end of a cul-de-sac, so I don't get a lot of people. So I don't even know that we'll have anybody even come to our house for Halloween. It's kind of a tradition for us, though, to watch Halloween movies. So we'll probably watch something. Do you have like any favorite Halloween type of movie that you watch, or do you not watch them at all?
Well, I've never been a fan of the Halloween the truly scary or gory movies like Friday the 13th and Jason and all that stuff. So even in high school, I didn't care for any of that. When my kids were little, we'd watch Casper the Friendly Ghost, or there was one where there was three. I think Bette Midler was one of the characters, and there was these three witches that were under some spell or something. I don't remember the name of it, but we would watch all
Hocus
that.
Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. That's right. Yeah. So we would always watch something like that, but I've never been a fan of the. I'm too scary. I'm a big sissy actually when it comes to scary movies. I don't like any of them.
Yeah. All right. Against the Grain says, shut lights off, go to friend's house and watch them hand out all the sugar.
Yeah.
I missed this comment somehow. Cynthia, hello, good to see you. She says, it sounds good, Johnny, but I fear that your house will still be egged. I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, Brian, if it does happen, I just hope they don't use those pasture-raised eggs because I'm having a hard time finding them.
Oh, that's true. Eggs have gotten so expensive. Are they really going to buy eggs? I don't know.
Yeah, really.
Let's see. Oh, Main Runner says beef sticks, small packages of mini pepperoni or cheese sticks. Yeah, those are some good ideas too. Yep. And Hocus Pocus, that was the movie he was talking about. So, when my kids were little, we used to watch that kind of stuff, like the Hocus Pocus. What was the one that you mentioned? The Casper. Yes, they watched Casper. Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. They watched that one. And I, for some reason, was into the Halloween movies with Michael Myers. So
yeah.
I got them into watching those. You know what's funny is Poltergeist, the original one from like the 80s when I was a kid. I was terrified of that movie. There was the whole thing with the lightning and the rainstorm, and then that
Oh, yeah.
clown. And I used to get, after I watched that movie as a kid, I used to, every time I was in bed and there was like a storm, I would get worried. And my sister, older sister, had a clown that looked just like that clown in her room. And that
Oh,
used
wow.
to freak me out. And when my kids were little, we let them watch that movie and they sat there and laughed at it. And they were like, this is not scary. This is funny. And I'm like, oh my God, this is giving me nightmares now.
Brian, you want to hear my fun and useless fact about that movie?
Yes. Let's hear it.
The little girl that played the lead in that movie, her name was Heather O'Rourke. Remember, she said, "They're here." That was her famous line in that movie. They were making a sequel to that, and she needed to go to the bathroom. They wouldn't let her go. They kept pushing filming forward. They were getting behind schedule. She ended up having a perforated bowel, and she died from that. So she died filming the sequel to that movie. Heather O'Rourke was her name. I'm full of useless knowledge. I don't know why I remember all this stuff, but yeah, it's pretty sad because she was a good little actress. For a bit of that little kid, she did a great job in that movie, and they never released the sequel because she passed away during the filming of it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
I loved Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and then came Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. See, that's a problem with those movies. They do that stuff. Like, it does the same thing with like the Halloween movies. Like, they chop off his head in the next movie. It was like, oh, it wasn't really him. It was somebody else. He's still there. Or they burned him and it was like, no, he lived past the burning. I think there was something with the Friday the 13th too, if I'm not mistaken, that they had him like supposedly dead. I think it was that one. And then in the next movie at the beginning or something, he was in the coroner's office and all of a sudden he just woke up. I was like, what? So that's the weird thing about those movies. Yeah,
hey, what was the really scary movie that came out, I don't know, 10 or 12, 13 years ago? It was a very, very low budget movie, very low budget, but it did fantastic. It was something about the wood.
I know what you're talking about.
The forest or the woods or something.
Yes. That was actually filmed in Maryland, I believe, too. Yeah. Not too far from me. It was very low budget, and they did it like so it looked more like a documentary and everything.
Right.
Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project. That was it. Yes.
I did watch that movie. I was at work one day working at the fire station, and it was on. That was they only had like $100,000 for the entire movie, and it was if you like scary movies, that was a very scary movie, and it made millions and millions and millions of dollars. This goes to show you don't have to spend $1 trillion. You just got to have a really good storyline and a good writer to write all that stuff, because that was a very low. I mean, by standards of that time, they only spent like $100,000 on it, and that, I mean, I couldn't turn it off. I hate scary movies, but I couldn't turn it off because I just wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Yeah. I actually have a funny story from that movie too. We watched the first time that my wife and I watched it. I think it was on Halloween and late at night. And then we went to bed, and that night, for some reason, our hallway outside our bedroom was hardwood floor, and our dog kept running up and down the floor, and we'd hear these steps just running. And it was freaking us out. We're like, what is going on? And where we lived, we did have like a wooded area behind our house too. And it was just like, okay, this is kind of freaking us out. So I have weird stories with some of these movies for some reason. I don't know. I just do.
Brian, what was a movie where that mask, that guy had that like hockey, that mask on his face? Which one was that? Was that Halloween?
That's Friday the 13th. Jason.
Oh, Jason. Yes. Yeah, he had that mask.
The hockey mask. Yep. The hockey mask.
So there's this guy that I found on YouTube and Facebook. He puts this mask on and rides around his neighborhood, and his wife is just like, he wears this big overall suit or whatever, and he puts that mask on, and he picks his kids up from school, and he just like wears it all the time, and his wife is just flabbergasted with him.
Oh,
And it's kind of funny because the guy just has run it in the ground, and it makes his wife crazy. She goes like, "Can't believe I'm married to this guy." But anyways.
all right. Paul says, I know Halloween dollar-wise is close to being #1, even outdoing Christmas. Here's something to think of that is kind of sad about how our society is going. If you think of probably the 3 biggest holidays in terms of money are Halloween, Christmas, and Easter, and they're all rooted around candy. I mean, you do get gifts at Christmas, but a lot of people give out candy too. They put candy in stockings and stuff like that. And they sell more candy those 3 holidays than any other days of the year, for those 3 holidays. It's insane that that's how our society is raised at this point.
And don't forget Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Valentine's Day too.
The little heart-shaped chocolate things,
Yeah. That one's, I was going to say probably isn't as big for kids, but it probably actually is. Because I remember being in elementary school and we used to do like those conversation hearts, stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. Cynthia says, I fear that poor Brian will have more horrific thoughts about that movie now.
Sorry.
Yeah. So this is about the poltergeist, which I think Cynthia was talking about. A ton of people died during the filming. Lots of people said the set was haunted too. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Amy is here. Hello.
Hey, Amy. Good to see you, Amy.
Christmas music. See, we're talking about Halloween and she's practicing Christmas music. It's just right around the corner though, right?
Exactly. Brian, can you believe how hey JC Skate Hills? Brian, can you believe how fast this year has gone by? I mean, we're only 2 weeks from Halloween. 2025 has just flown by.
It has. Yeah. Oh gosh, they're killing me with this poltergeist stuff. Real dead bodies were used in the swimming pool scene. Oh, you guys. Okay, here we go. Beetlejuice is a good Halloween movie. That was Michael Keaton was great in that movie. That was a great movie. Have you seen the new one? The Beetlejuice was called Beetlejuice or something. It's a newer one. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
No. Okay. I don't know if it's any good or not. The first one was really good though.
Yeah.
Scariest movie is Event Horizon. Have you ever seen that? I don't think I've heard of that. Christine, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that was the car, wasn't it? What was the car? Was Christine the car that would like run people over?
The car blew up or something? The car blew up, right?
I don't know if maybe at the very end it did, but it was like a haunted car and it would just like take off and run. You never knew if there was somebody driving it, but it would like run over people. Then all of a sudden you'd see it like parked against the curb, and it was a black, I don't remember what kind of car it was. It was just a black car with tinted windows, and it was a pretty scary movie back in the day.
Yeah. I was pretty young when it came out, and for some reason, all I'm remembering is something with a car exploding, but maybe that didn't even happen and I just can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
That may be how the movie ended. That might be how the movie finally, got resolution.
28 Days Later. I don't know what that movie is either. Do you, Johnny?
No.
JC said 28 Days Later too. So
people know what it is. I'm just not familiar. It shows how out of touch I am when it comes to scary movies.
Yep. Let's see what else we got. Candy is the root of all evil.
And tooth decay.
Yes, Hershey, Pennsylvania. I don't think I've ever, maybe I've been there once with my kids, but I think they went one time without me there. And I'm pretty sure it's like, if I'm thinking correctly, there's like this huge store that's just all candy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Big 40-pound
Um,
bars and so forth.
So Amy says, I don't really do much for Halloween because I'm a Christian and an adult with grown kids, so we don't do much. It's not something I want to spend a ton of money on. Yep.
Yeah, I get that.
All right. Amityville Horror.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I did watch that one. I was 13 or 14 when that movie came out, maybe 15. So I did see that. I got dared some friends to go, and I did sit through that one.
Yeah. 57 Bel Air. I don't.
That's what Christine was a 57 Bel Air.
Oh, the car. Okay. Wasn't there one something to do with a hotel room? Was it with John Cusack, I think? And something like he went crazy or something in the hotel room and it was haunted.
The Bates
They
Motel?
told him not to go into it. No, it wasn't the Bates thing. But it was something with it was supposed to be like the most haunted hotel room or something, and he was like a writer or something, and he was going to stay the night in it or something. I can't remember a lot about it, but I think that one was kind of scary. I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, so here's the car thing, I think. No, it attacked people. It was possessed from Stephen King. My mom loved his movie Cujo.
Yeah, Cujo was a scary one too.
Yeah. Cynthia says we usually like to watch extremely stupid horror movies like The Fly or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Now that I'm a carnivore, the Killer Tomatoes would probably be scarier. Yes.
And when you learn about the lectins, you understand why those tomatoes are so killer.
Tooth decay is also the root to all evil. You know, when I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of candy, drink soda, stuff like that. And I had all kinds of cavities that would have to get filled, right? And I actually have a filling that came out some years ago. But my dentist, this was before starting carnivore, he said that you're going to have to get that fixed. I think it's something about root canal or something like that. I can't remember what, but you have to get it fixed. It's going to cause you a lot of pain. You might be able to go 6 months to a year or something. That's going to be it. Well, I started carnivore shortly after that. I've never had a problem with it. It's still there over 3 years. No problems with it. I haven't had any other problems with my teeth. Just, you don't eat the sugar and all of a sudden your teeth don't have problems like they used to.
Yeah. That's like me. Now that I'm carnivore, I feel like my teeth, this is kind of, and I've said this before on here, I'm sure, my teeth feel very, very strong, very rooted in my jaw. Before I would be apprehensive to bite like a piece of steak that was really tough or whatever, because my teeth didn't feel, I don't know, rooted in there. Like I'm going to pull a tooth out or break a tooth off. But now I've been carnivore for over 2 years. I feel like I could literally chew leather. I don't worry about my teeth at all. And like you, I have a filling that came out several years ago, and they filled it again. Part of the tooth broke off. It fell out. And the reason it fell out, I was eating Now and Laters. Do you remember the little candies that were called Now and Laters? The grape and the banana Now and Laters was my jam. I ate those, and I'd bite down on it, and when I'd go to pull my teeth apart, it pulled my darn fillings out. So it could cause a lot of problems eating that stupid, like it was really hard taffy, for lack of a better term. But yeah, I've got a filling that's been missing for several years, and since going carnivore, it doesn't hurt. That's no problem. I just rinse it out real good after I eat. I brush back there pretty good, make sure no food gets caught up in there, and it's not been a problem at all.
That's good. Amy said, I watched Christine as a kid and couldn't go in our attached garage because I thought our family car was going to run me over. So I don't know. Anybody that remembers that movie well, am I right that at the end the car exploded or caught on fire or something? Let us know in the comments, because I don't know if that's right or if that's just what I'm imagining. I can't remember.
You know, Amy's talking about that movie, how bad it scared her back in the day. And for me, the movie that did that to me back in 1975, I think 74, 75, We went to the movie theater in downtown Augusta, Georgia, which is where I lived at the time, and we saw the movie Jaws. And for about a year, I would not get in the bathtub because I thought Jaws was going to come out of the faucet or come up through the drain. I was, 5, 6, 7 years old, and that movie really rattled me. And to this very day, I really don't go in the ocean at all. That ruined me at very early on. That movie left an indelible impression on me. Not a Halloween thing, but oh my gosh, it was scary.
My mom stayed at the House of Amityville Horror. That's pretty.
Wow. I wonder if
Bill
it's a tourist
is here.
attraction.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, some of those places are like touristy type of things now.
Yeah.
So Target says you are thinking of The Shining. That was a
Jack
hotel
Nicholson.
one. That was Jack Nicholson, and that was from a long time ago, like what 1980 or something like that. But that wasn't the one I was thinking of. But yes, that one was crazy. Like, there was something with the kid on a tricycle in the hallway too. I remember a kid riding a tricycle in the hallway and stuff. But yeah, Jack Nicholson was great in that movie. That wasn't the one I was thinking of. It was something with John Cusack, and he was like a writer, and reporter something, and he was into like scary, haunting type of stuff, and he stayed the night at this hotel room that was supposed to be like the scariest hotel room or something. That's all I can remember really, but I don't know. I don't think he made it. I think he ended up going crazy and killing himself or something. Karen, hello.
Hey, Karen.
How's the healing going for both you guys? So Johnny, you did some sprinting today, you said, right? So you're pretty much healed up.
90%. I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to do. The leg started hurting actually 2 days ago. It's crazy. It got completely healed and it didn't hurt at all. But the last 3 days at work, the ambulance that I was assigned to is one of our older ones. It's a big box unit. And the step is really high up to step up into the back of the ambulance to get in the patient compartment. And I tend to go with my right foot first, which that's the leg that I hurt. So I've been climbing in and out of this pretty tall ambulance for 3 consecutive days. And so my leg is a little bit sore. So I went to do some sprints today. And if you watch my video, you'll see what happened there. I'll leave you a little tease there. But overall, I'm doing great. Yeah. Brian, tell us about your healing real quick. I know we talked about it earlier, but bring Karen up to speed.
Yeah. I've been doing pretty well. I am walking fairly normal at this point. I'm going up and down the steps without the aid of a crutch like I was using before. I still have a little bit of bruising, but I feel like I'm exactly 2 weeks today from the injury, and I feel like I'm probably 80-85% healed at this point. Like, it feels pretty good. Last week when I sat here in this computer chair for our live stream, it was a bit sore. I'm not feeling any of that anymore. I did live stream with Dr. Nelson yesterday, sitting in the chair, no problems. Went a little over an hour. So it's a lot better. Like, it's much better than it should be at 2 weeks. The type of injury I had for somebody my age is supposed to be a 4 to 8 week. Is that right? No, 2 to 3 months, I think. 2 to 3 months. So that would be 8 to 12 week recovery. And I mean, I think like another week or so, I'm going to be really good. So it's been going really well for me. I'm looking up this movie with John Cusack.
That's the power, Karen. That's the power of the carnivore healing Brian so quickly and healing me quickly too. If we were doing the standard American diet, we would be nowhere near healed, and we're both pretty close now. So thank you for asking about that.
Yes. Okay, here it is. The movie was called 1408. Starred in the horror film 1408 in 2007. Played a cynical author who debunks paranormal claims and decides to spend a night in the notoriously haunted room 1408 at the Dolphin Hotel. It's warned by the hotel manager, played by Samuel L. Jackson, not to enter, but he goes anyway, only to find the room is generally evil and begins to torment him by exploiting his deepest fears. So that's the movie that I was thinking of. Let's see, what was I gonna put? Oh, Caught on Fire. I think this is the car that we were talking about. So
15, yeah.
it didn't explode. It caught on fire. I was close. That for some reason I was thinking explode, but caught on fire. That makes better sense. And yes, Jaws was scary, but I would love to see a 600-pound shark coming out of the faucet. But Johnny, when you're a little boy, you're not thinking that, right?
That's right. Figured it'd come out as a minnow and then expand as it got to me.
Oh man, that's funny. You're thinking of the 13th Floor with him and John
Malkovich. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember something with that movie too. That was another movie. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Identity is another John Cusack movie that was kind of scary. Yes, I briefly remember that. That was something with a kid, wasn't it? There was a kid that had multiple identities or split personalities, whatever, I think. Misery is a bit painful to watch when Kathy Bates hobbles him. Still makes me cringe. Yeah.
Hey, Ghostbusters would be a good Halloween movie for a wimp like me. I can watch Ghostbusters.
There you go. Yeah. Karen says she loves the song that you play, Johnny, on your videos.
Yeah. The song I played on my video, today's video, if you see today's video, is a song I made for Brian, but I love the song so much I went back and changed the name Brian to Johnny, so that doesn't exactly line up. It's just a great song. It changed it a little bit, Brian. When I changed it, put my name, it changed the tune a little bit. But I made a couple songs for Brian when I was up there with him.
Okay. What was I just seeing? The Agony of Defeat? I don't know that I've heard of that one. Karen says that's great on the healings. Leg injuries can be troublesome. Yep. History. Hamstring injuries can definitely linger. So being John Malkovich, that was the one I was thinking when I saw somebody said something about John Malkovich. Being John Malkovich. That was another John Cusack movie. Stephen King is a great horror writer. Yep.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I sure wouldn't want to be in that one in real life. That's for sure.
Yeah. What about snakes on a plane?
Yeah, I want to stay away from snakes on a plane too. That was Samuel L. Jackson, right? I think. Yeah.
I think so.
Anyone seen The Fly that from the 1960s?
I have seen that with Vincent Price, the original. Vincent Price was amazing.
Okay.
He was a scary kind of a horror movie kind of actor back in the, I guess, 50s and 60s. If you remember Michael Jackson's video Thriller, the actual song Thriller from the album Thriller, there's a part where Vincent Price speaks towards the end of, in the middle of that song. So that voice that you hear, says, "For no mere mortal escapes the evil of the thriller." That's Vincent Price. That was one of the last things he did. Yep. He died, I think, in the 80s, maybe early 90s, but he's been dead for a long time. But he was, growing up, he was somebody that you recognize him immediately on TV. He was on a lot of scary type stuff. Great actor, great method actor.
Yeah. So what is this? Wide World of Sports, the ski jump wreck. I don't remember anything with that. What was the ski jump wreck?
So when the Wide World of Sports used to come on Saturday on ABC, I think it was ABC or CBS 1, around 2:00, it said the thrill of victory, and it shows somebody like crossing the finish line first, and it said the agony of defeat. And the skier is going down the ramp to hit the ski jump, and he trips and falls right at the very end of the approach, and he goes flying off the ski jump, like in the air, so he didn't actually, so he ends up landing at the bottom. And I think the guy survived, but he was broke up pretty bad. But they showed it. That was the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. You can pull that up. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But it's pretty scary watching the guy because he's flying, because he's trying to jump 100 and some odd feet in the air, and he loses his balance and falls right at the end of the ramp. And yeah, it was pretty rough. But yeah, that was pretty scary stuff too. I used to watch Wild World of Sports every Saturday because I would always wait and see if Evel Knievel was going to be on there, because that's where you could find Evel Knievel doing his jumps and stuff. But so I saw that every Saturday for years and years.
Okay. Anaconda. That's another one.
Yeah.
Mandy is here. Hello, Mandy.
Hey, Mandy. Great to see you.
I think this was talking about The Fly. That's another silly horror movie our family would watch at Halloween.
Yeah.
What was the Pod movie with Donald Sutherland?
Ooh, Donald Sutherland was a great actor.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, Google Donald Sutherland scary movies or something.
Yeah. Donald Sutherland horror movie.
Yeah. He played in so much stuff.
I know. Horror film. Oh my gosh. There's a link to something that's 15 horror movies starring Donald Sutherland.
Wow.
So apparently he was in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Including some of his best Don't Look Now. It says Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That was a good one.
American Haunting, House of Horrors. I guess he's in a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Hey, Brian, did you ever go to a Halloween party, a costume party for Halloween? Ever done that?
I did once. I think this would have been either right before or shortly after COVID. I think it was right before COVID. And my wife, myself, and my son went to this party of this guy we knew and his family. And we were Run DMC. Each of us were one of the people from Run DMC.
That's hilarious.
Have you done anything like that?
Yeah, when I was growing up, my fun fact, my mom and my stepdad and my dad and my stepmom were thick as thieves. They were the best of friends. My mom and my stepmom learned after my dad married my stepmom that they were actually like second cousins. Didn't know it because they come from a very large family. And after that, they become really good friends. So every year for Halloween, my mom and my stepdad would have a costume party for Halloween. And when we were older, I was probably 13, 14, 15 years old when we did that. And my dad and my stepmom would always dress up as vampires because they both have jet black hair. So it worked really well. And my mom would always be like a gypsy, and my stepdad would be like a clown or a hobo or something like that. And one year, I'm gonna lose my man card here, but one year, just for fun, I'm 6'1", big broad shoulders. I used to be in really athletic shape. My brother, who's 17 months older than me, dressed up as a gangster with a hat and the glasses and the suit and everything, a green suit, and I dressed up as his date. So I had on a wig and a dress and all this stuff. It was a dare. I think I lost a bet or whatever. I've got those pictures somewhere, but we had a blast. And then we needed ice. So my brother and I decided to go up to the local Piggly Wiggly and buy a couple bags of ice, him dressed as a gangster and me dressed as a woman. When I had lipstick all over me. I had like crazy eyeshadow or whatever, all halfway off, like that lady that used to play with what was the guy that did he did The Price is Right after Bob Barker?
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey. He had a show. He had some show, the Drew Carey show, I think. And the girl that played on that always had this crazy makeup on. Anyway, I had way too much makeup on. It was almost like eyeshadow all out here and lipstick all over. So my brother and I went to the Piggly Wiggly to get ice as the couple. So that was a one and done. I never did that again, but it was a lot of fun. So
I remember who you're talking about now with the lady with the makeup on the Drew Carey show. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's funny. Target says he's got to go. Wish me luck. I am working and standing on my feet for 6 hours tomorrow for the first time. Good luck.
Yep. Keep moving.
Okay. Encounters of the third kind. That's
Close encounter.
somewhat
Yeah.
scary. Yeah, close
Yeah.
encounters of the third kind. Yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That was a good one.
What else we got here? I went to a costume party at a fancy French restaurant named Rats.
Okay.
Went as a cavalier. All right. Yes, Mimi was the lady's
Mimi.
name from the Drew Carey
Mimi.
show. Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi.
Any pictures, Johnny?
I'll see if I can find them. I'll show them next week. If I can find them when we're live next week, I'll actually show them. I've got them somewhere. I've got an old picture album with my mom and my stepdad and my dad and my stepmom and all of us dressed up. I've saved. Back then I had a little 110 camera, take like 24 pictures, and you go take it and get it developed. And a week later you go pick it up. I've still got those pictures. If I can find it, I'll show it. It's we're talking actually 43, 44 years ago now. There was a comedian when I was growing up. There was this black guy. His name was Flip Wilson. And if you're older and you're on here, you'll know what I'm talking about. Flip Wilson. He was a guy, and he played the part of his sister or his date, Geraldine. It was the same guy. He'd be himself, and then he'd dress up as a woman. It was the Flip Wilson show, and his female alter ego was Geraldine, and that was a big deal back in the day because it was a funny thing, and that's kind of where I got the idea from. Flip Wilson and Geraldine.
Sounds like Bill remembers. He says he was funny.
Yeah. He was very funny.
So let's see. We've kind of gone off the rails a little bit, but I want to talk about something here. This is something. So I've been carnivore for over 3 years now. So let's see. I guess this will be my third Halloween since I've been on carnivore. So it'll be the last 2 years then, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
22, 23?
Yeah, 23 and 24,
No.
yeah.
This is actually going to be the fourth Halloween.
Right.
So I've had 3 of them so far. And this is something I've struggled with, like, because in my house, I'm the only one that does carnivore, right? People, it's, some of my kids are gone now, but when they were still living in the house, they just ate standard diet. And we passed out candy and stuff like that. And I'd have this problem because I'm like this carb addict. I would be doing really good with my diet, and we get to Halloween, and there would be the bowl there for the candy to pass out to the kids, and I'd want to start taking candy and eating candy. That's been a problem for me. I don't know if there's anybody else that's watching that has ever been a problem for them. That has been a problem for me. Johnny says it's been a problem for him too. So I don't think we're passing out candy this year. I could be wrong, but we haven't even had kids show up the last couple of years. So I think that I don't have that problem this year. And I'd like to say that I'm at a point that it wouldn't affect me because my son lives in the house and he has candy sometimes in the house and I don't mess with it. But I don't know. I feel like it could still trigger me because it's like one of those things, like once an addict, always an addict type thing, right? Like if you had problems with alcoholism, you never go back and just drink a drink, a couple years later or something because it's going to trigger, right? So that's like the thing I got to do is make sure that I stay away from it and don't get that trigger. It'd be interesting.
My problem, Brian, is the little mini candy bars, the Butterfingers, the Snickers, the Reese's, not the Reese's, but the Hershey's, especially like the peanuts in it or whatever. Mr. Goodbar, I think is, and I tell myself, well, it's just a little one. It's tiny. It's just a few carbs. No big deal. I mean, it's such a small serving, but it hits, man. It hits different now. And, before I know it, I've eaten 5, 6, 8. I might as well have eaten a whole candy bar. And then it seems like for a couple of days, I start saying, well, I've already messed up. It's okay. I'll get back on plan tomorrow. I've already messed up. So, all right, Monday, I'll start back on Monday. And all it takes is that one little bitty mini size, whatever. And it sets off a chain reaction that, for whatever reason, is stronger than my willpower. So I have to completely abstain. And so far, my wife hadn't bought any candy to hand out. So if we do anything, it's going to be these little toys that I bought or whatever. But there's still sweets in the house. There's sweets in the house right now. And 92.7% of the time, I stay away from them.
That's pretty exact percentage there.
And that I may have just made that number up on the top of my head. So.
Oh, Red Skeleton. I briefly remember him a little bit. That was probably a little bit before my time, but I do remember him.
He kind of played a hobo. He was very funny.
Rick says he's still amazed anyone could get addicted to duck food. See, because Rick never went down that
path.
That path that we did, right? So like he never really experienced eating all that stuff and getting hooked on it and so forth. I was just watching a video from Dr. Barry and Kelly Hogan earlier today. I think it was from yesterday. I think they did a live yesterday. And they were both talking about how they're carb addicts. They have to completely stay away from eating any type of carb. Even now, like Dr. Barry says it, like he might have occasionally like some Brussels sprouts or something, maybe, but that's it. Like, he has to stay away from really eating that stuff because it will trigger him. And he's been eating this way for a long time and it will still trigger him. And I guess, the way that Rick is, that's probably how people were way back a long time ago before they ever got introduced to this stuff. They never even knew what this stuff was like. That'd be like now, like if you have a kid and you keep them on a more of a low carb path and not give them all this junk food, they would never experience it and have that feeling of addiction to the carbs and so forth.
So Rick says he doesn't understand how people can get addicted to duck food. There's 335 million people in America, give or take, million here and there. Rick is probably one of maybe 10 out of 300 plus million people that can honestly say that. So Rick is the exception to the exception to the exception to the rule. But Rick doesn't understand, or whatever, is everybody, in America and most of the West that they have, has been a victim of this, this engineered food. This food is engineered to be addictive. Yeah. They do studies, they do rat tests, they bring in people and they hook the electrodes up to their brain. They do electroencephalograms to see when you eat something, what part of your brain lights up. And then they engineer the food to mimic that. They got caught doing it in the tobacco industry and they got sued into oblivion. And as soon as the lawsuit was settled, R.J. Reynolds bought Kraft Heinz, I think it was, and they started buying up all the food companies. And those same engineers that made cigarettes so addictive that killed literally millions and millions of people now work in the food industry. And there's been a couple of people who have left that industry who were engineers and scientists have come out now on their whistleblower saying that this research has been going on for 25 years, trying to figure out what combination of oils and fats and dyes and sugars and artificial sweeteners that they can put in there to make it the most addictive. Now, God bless Rick for being able to steer clear of all that. I'd give anything if I could have steered clear of all that, because it cost me 25 years of my life, because for 25 years, my life sucked. But now that I'm more like Rick and I'm away from all that stuff 92.78% of the time, my life is pretty good. I can't believe how bad I felt for so long eating this duck food, as Rick calls it, and how great I feel now steering clear of it. It's an exactly 180-degree difference. And Halloween, somebody said on Facebook the other day, Brian, I may have sent it to you. We have in America, we have a candy holiday followed by a cake and pie holiday, Thanksgiving, followed by candy and sweets holiday, Christmas, followed by Valentine's, followed by Easter. That's 5 months out of the year that we're just bombarding people with sugar because it's tradition, right? When you go to Thanksgiving, you want to try all the pies and the cakes and all that stuff, and then we wonder how the heck we got where we are now with such an unhealthy populace. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm off my soapbox.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Rick says he's addicted to meat. I think I am too, and I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I want to eat a steak every day. I wish I could. It's kind of expensive, but
yeah,
eat some kind of meat every day.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts smell like poop when cooking. You know
They smell
what, Rick?
terrible.
I can't remember if it was Brussels sprouts or if it was broccoli. I'm hoping now that he said broccoli and not Brussels sprouts, because as I think about this, if there's one vegetable he's going to eat maybe once a month or two, why would they pick Brussels sprouts? Because I think I've had Brussels sprouts once or twice when I was a kid and absolutely hated it. It was nasty. Ugh. Like, even when I was eating vegetables and stuff before carnivore, I didn't want to eat Brussels sprouts. I don't know. Ugh. Amy says, I always had to wait until my husband went to bed to cook Brussels sprouts. Oh, Brussels sprouts. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. They were not good.
Well, Brian, I bought into the the whole, they're very healthy for you. They're cruciferous vegetable. So when I was driving an 18-wheeler, I had this little 12-volt lunch box. You plug it into like a cigarette lighter or 12-volt outlet, and you have these little aluminum like loaf pans that you put down in there, and you put aluminum foil over it, and then you could cook while you were driving because it would heat up to 300 degrees, whatever. And I'd put Brussels sprouts in there and pour Frank's Red Hot chicken wing sauce all over top of them. And so when they got through cooking, it tasted like chicken wings. So I had chicken wing flavored Brussels sprouts, and it kind of killed the smell too, because it had the smell of the vinegar from the Frank's Red Hot sauce in there. But I used to eat Brussels sprouts cooked in chicken wing hot sauce.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. So Rick says he's happy you discovered the good food and it turned your life around. I am happy for you too.
Yeah. And me for you as well. And everybody actually in this community.
Bill says I loved Brussels sprouts because they were good for us. Oh, they were good for us, but boy, were they nasty. Rick says the foundation of what he calls duck food is anything made from seeds.
Great point. Great point. Hey, Rick, are you going to the meetup? I heard somebody say you were going to a meetup. I was watching a live yesterday or day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And Rick, they're having I think it's going to be in Miami. I think Rick may actually be going to a get together.
That was the live stream I was on with Dr. Nelson yesterday. He mentioned it, Rick was going to be there and he was going to get to meet Rick.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting because I'm pretty sure the last time I knew, Rick said he hasn't been to one of the meetups yet. So that would be cool if he gets to go to one. I haven't been to one myself yet, but.
Can you imagine the views that'll get if Rick goes to a meetup? That'll get 1,000, at least 1,000 views, at least 1,000 views, maybe more.
Yeah. I'm addicted to bacon. I'm addicted to steak and eggs. I love steak and eggs. I haven't had as many eggs lately, but I do love steak and eggs. Yes, I agree about this. Holidays need to be more about fellowship and not the food. Yeah, it should be more about spending time, with your family and your friends and enjoying the time with people and celebrating life and so forth. And this whole society, we've turned everything into like a food thing. And then on the backside of it, because of the food and people getting sick, oh, well, you don't have to change your lifestyle. You keep eating that food. We'll just give you a pill or 3 pills or 4 pills. Sad, but yeah.
Brian, did you see? I don't know if I sent it to you. I know I sent it to a couple other people. I think I sent it to you. Data came out recently. They've been tracking it. Every 3 minutes in America, a limb is amputated from diabetes complications. Every 3 minutes, Monday to Sunday, 365 days a year. And I would say 80% of the patients I haul in the back of my ambulance are missing fingers, feet, arms, and legs. One of those, and it's all diabetic related. I mean, I see it every day. So their point, when we need to build around spending time together, fellowship, walking, going to a park, swinging. You know, Brian, when I was a kid, we'd go to the playground and we would play on the merry-go-round. We'd swing on the swings. And when the families got together, it wasn't always around the table. I mean, sure, we would eat in there somewhere, but we would have we'd play basketball. We'd have softball games at the park. We would go and play on the monkey bars. You know, it wasn't always just about food. And now, even when my kids were coming up, it seemed like all the gatherings that we partook in, and sometimes we were the host, was just about food. You bring this food, you bring that food, we'll fix this food. And the time together was spent preparing food, eating, and then being miserable because we ate too much, versus going outside in the sunshine and really fellowshipping together outside of the table.
Yeah. Amy says, I love Brussels sprouts. I'm sorry, Amy. I hope I didn't offend you by talking about how bad they are for me. But I don't think I'm alone. Rick says the farts Brussels sprouts make are deadly.
Brussels sprouts and boiled eggs as a combo.
Yeah. Brussels sprouts in England are bigger and very sweet, a hybrid. We're talking way too much about Brussels sprouts here. Oh, here you go. Rick is going to hack your health in Tampa. So that's what they were talking about.
Cool.
Okay.
I may have to jump on a plane and go.
He's never been to a meetup, so that'll be his first one.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's kind of like a meetup to hack your health. It's like an official one instead of like, yeah. Boy, am I even going to say this right? Muscovy, is that how you say that? Muscovy duck is my favorite meat.
Brian, have you ever had duck? I've never had it. Rick's got me wanting to try it. Have you ever had duck?
I think I did once, but I can't remember for sure. If I did, I think it's very similar to chicken, but maybe I'm thinking wrong. I don't know.
I've never had lamb. You had some lamb recently, Brian, because I think I saw a picture you posted. Didn't you have some lamb recently?
Yeah, I've had lamb quite often, actually. I'll get like the lamb leg at Costco, and sometimes I'll smoke it. This last time I shaved it into some really nice like lamb steaks that I have to cook on the grill. And I also made some cubed pieces that I'm gonna do kebab style with no vegetables with it, just the lamb. But yeah,
I got to try lamb.
Rick says his parents made Brussels sprouts and not even the ducks would eat them. Okay, so maybe I haven't had ducks. You said the only way I'd eat mallard is with gravy. It's so rich. I don't know. Maybe I haven't.
Growing up, my stepdad and my dad were both real big into hunting, and they would go quail hunting and dove hunting. And so we would eat quail and dove, and it was so gamey. It was hard to eat. I was, 13, 14 years old, so I would eat about anything. And I had a tough time choking down quail and dove. It just had an extremely gamey flavor. So if duck were like that, I think I would steer clear of it. But I got to give it a try. Rick loves it. He says it's really good, and what he eats is obviously wild. It's not. I guess it's wild. It's parking lot duck. But
yeah. Good. I didn't offend her. That's good to know, Amy. It'll be quack your health instead of
hack your health.
I can't even remember what it was. Hack your health. Yeah. Instead of hack your health, it'll be quack your health. Amy wished she was going so you can see how tall Rick is. What? Rick is like 6'6", right? He's pretty tall. He's taller than me. I think he's 6'6", something like that. Muscovy duck tastes like steak, Rick says. Interesting. Yeah, some of these meetups are crazy expensive. I agree. Gonna stick with my free Friday fellowship fires circles. I invite any locals. Cool.
Where are you at, Ivy?
Bill says I've eaten frog legs as a kid. I used to do that too as a kid. We had this restaurant that we'd go to, and we'd go there on like Friday nights. And for some reason on Friday nights, they had like this all you can eat frog legs. And I would always get that. I loved frog legs. They were pretty good. Oh, there you go. Someone paid for Rick's tickets. That's cool. I'm glad somebody did that for you.
Yeah.
That is really nice, really cool.
Sure.
Have you ever had frog legs, by the way, Johnny? Going back to that?
No, but there was a restaurant close to where my dad lives down in kind of a South rural Georgia. They have a buffet on Friday and Saturday nights. It's mostly seafood, but they have alligator tail, and I have eaten a lot of alligator tail. That area, alligators are out of control, so they almost have unlimited alligator hunting. So this restaurant got creative, and I guess you can eat any other part of the alligator, but the tail has it tastes a lot like pork chops, and has very similar texture to it. So I have eaten a ton of alligator tail, but never had frog legs.
Yeah, I like frog legs.
I'll
Yes,
try that.
Rick is 6'6" tall, so I got a good memory. Sometimes I remember that at least.
Yeah.
I can remember some things. They used to serve all-you-can-eat frog legs at the Sweden House Smorgasbord. I worked at the Sweden House in Toledo when I lived in Toledo as a kid. Let me tell you, that was an interesting place. It was like a party place. Like as soon as we closed every day, we went out and partied. Oh, well. Oh, wow. Ivy's brother, son, and dad are all over 7 foot. Brother's nickname is Chewy. That is a tall family.
That's a tall family.
Amy, I agree with Amy in this one. Not with the Brussels sprouts, but the frog legs, delicious. Yes.
Brian, how about frog legs fried in bacon grease? That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I do.
Did you see my video? I think I did a short or a video where I fixed those cube steak in bacon grease with just salt and pepper on it. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did see that.
So yeah,
one.
they had marked these things down like 25 or 30% off. It was just cube steak, and I don't know what kind of meat cube steak is, but they run it through that cuber, and it pulverizes it and tenderizes it pretty good. That was the bomb.com. That was so good. And I just put Redmond's real salt and some black pepper on there, fried it in bacon grease, and it was fantastic. And it was really, I will say inexpensive. I think it was right at $7, I think. And there was 4 pretty decent sized steaks in there, and I ate all of them. And that's something I would do again, especially if I can find it on markdown. If I can find that on markdown again, I'm going to buy a slew of it and put it in the freezer, because that was quick, easy, inexpensive, and delicious. And it was very chewable. Like sometimes you get like New York strip. One reason I don't do New York strip as much, I tend to get a lot of gristle in there, and I can eat it. It's just you got to chew and chew and chew. And that cube steak that I had was, my dad has a cuber. My dad, but he lives a long way away from me. But I could buy me a cuber, and you could get a cheaper cut of meat and run it through that cuber maybe twice, and slice it kind of thin, and then run it through a cuber a couple times, and you could eat about anything and really make it more chewable and more enjoyable. But that was I didn't mean to derail the thing, but that was extremely good.
Yeah. I had some beef shank recently, and I smoked it on my pellet grill, like hour and a half, so it wasn't really long. It was pretty good that way. It was still a little tough, so I probably should have gone a little bit longer on the smoking. But I thought it was pretty good that way.
Yeah.
That's a cheaper cut too. So there's some ways to find some good cheap cuts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Rick says, I used to see the scripture when God sent frogs as a plague to Egypt, and I thought I would like that myself. That's where the all-you-can-eat frog legs came from, right?
That's right. That's right.
Amy says, I need to find the cube steak video because I have some I need to use up. And then she asks if it was tough.
It was not. It was a little tougher because I probably overcooked it. But even the toughest part was really, really tender, easy to chew. Yeah, it's my video from last week, I think. I can't remember the title of the video, but it's relatively recent. I think it's I don't remember what the title of the video was, but you can find it on there. And I kind of go through cooking it, and I just put Redmond's real salt and some. I'm using a lot more black pepper now. You know, I was just using Redmond salt exclusively, and I don't know if it's hurting me or helping me or whatever, but black pepper, I do enjoy that. And I cooked it in about a half an inch of bacon grease, and it cooked really quickly. I think I cooked it too long. I didn't expect it to cook as quickly as it did, but it was absolutely buttery, melting in your mouth. I let my wife try it, even she said it was really good. And there was no flour, no gravy, none of that stuff. It was just the meat, salt and pepper, and bacon grease.
Amy says we're making her hungry. She doesn't want to eat this late at night. That's like the worst. Like the other day I did that. I got hungry and I ate. I think it was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. That was the worst thing to do. I was so awake, so wide awake. I did not want to go to sleep. And then I had to get up early the next day for work. It's not a good idea to eat late at night. So I'm sorry if we're making you hungry. Amy pressure cooks cube steak for chili. You know, it's getting that time of year too to make chili. My wife was just saying something the other day about chili, that maybe I should make a chili again. I like to make a chili with, I use ground beef, sausage, bacon. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much what I use.
Yeah.
Maybe
Amy, my video is called Saving Carnivore Cash. The video you're looking for is Saving Carnivore Cash. And it did save me some money. It was very good. Yeah, Brian, I'm learning that when you pressure cook something, it tends to make it more tender. I guess the pressure going in there, forcing the strands of meat apart or whatever. Because my wife makes ribs, pork ribs, in the pressure cooker. And oh my goodness, they're so good. And she doesn't do it for a real long time. Whatever the recommended thing is by the pressure cooker. We have a I can't remember, Ninja. I think it's called the Ninja or whatever, the pressure cooker. I'm probably saying that wrong. Anyway, I eat the bones. Actually, the bones come out so soft that you can just eat them. And there's tons of nutrition in the bones. I know some people are like, you eat bones, but there's a lot of nutrition in that bone marrow. So, and the ribs are just so good. And she just puts some seasoning on there. She puts barbecue sauce on hers, and then puts them in the oven up under the broiler to kind of caramelize the barbecue sauce. Mine, I don't have any sauce on mine, but the whatever spice rub that she makes to put on there, and that pressure cooker is just it's really, really good. Yeah, I'm excited about this time of year we're coming into, because it opens up a lot of things in the kitchen, like the pressure cooker and the crock pot and things like that.
Yeah. The one thing I wonder about these tougher cuts where you got to cook them longer and slow and long so they're a little more tender is how many nutrients we're losing through the cooking, though. So that's why I try not to eat them as often. Like, I'll eat them, but I try not to eat them too often, because I feel like then I'm losing a lot of the nutrients. I don't know. Amy says she's always hungry 24/7, but late at night is the worst for her. Ivy says she just noticed she's the only like. Well, that's not good.
Smash that like button, y'all. Help us
I
out.
agree. She says everybody hit the like button. Come on.
Please, pretty please.
We got to hit the like button. There's plenty of people commenting here. Hit the like button, and then even if they don't watch it while it's live, it's going to get put into the YouTube algorithm, and people will watch it after the fact. Yeah. Against the Grain says you realize it doesn't matter what time you eat. That it could be true, but here's the problem I have with it. I can't fall asleep for several hours after I eat. It like gives me so much energy. So I can't eat at night, because then I can't fall asleep, especially if I have to work the next morning and I have to get up early. It's horrible for me. I can't. I've got too much energy when I eat. I mean, look at me now. I haven't eaten hours and I'm over here. I don't know. So yeah, I can't eat at night because of that.
So Brian, I have to at night. I have to. Thanks, Amy. I have to. If I start getting snacky, and I'm usually not hungry, I'm usually overly tired. and it seems like I want to eat, and I have to force myself just to get up and go to bed, because if I go and get something out of the refrigerator, even if it's just a bite of butter, like you, I have a terrible night's sleep. I measure my sleep with my Fitbit here, and this is the cheapest Fitbit I could find. It was like $70 on Amazon. So it's a cheap one, but it still measures my sleep. And if I have a couple of eggs or just a bite of a stick of butter, half a stick of butter, I'll have like a 70-something sleep score. If I go to bed, if I just make myself go to bed and say I don't eat after, say, 3 p.m., I go to bed at, say, 10:30, I'll have a 85 to 90 sleep score. But if I eat anything just before I go to bed, it just completely throws my sleep off. And yeah, Ivy, I was wondering, you said you have these Friday night circle fires, whatever. I wonder where you're located at.
Yeah. Bill says that he can fall asleep almost immediately when he gets full. That doesn't work for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me, but yeah.
And Brian, some people say they can
Linda
drink
says
coffee
she,
and go.
hit like as well.
Okay. Thanks. I know there are people
I don't
that
know
say
if my screen went black for a second. Did yours too?
Yeah, just for a second.
Okay.
But some people say they can drink coffee and then go straight to bed. I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, not every morning, but a lot of mornings I drink coffee and I put a little bit of butter and a little bit of heavy whipping cream in there. Now that I found a relatively clean, heavy whipping cream. But I drink unsweetened tea. I don't put any artificial sweeteners in there. I just have the tea and ice cubes, and that's it. And if I drink tea past about 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon, if I go out to dinner and I have a glass of tea, it usually ends up being 2 glasses. And it's 0 calories, 0 sugar, nothing. But man, it works on me so rough. So like you, Brian, food late in the evening, and then if I have any tea past about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it just completely messes my sleep up. And some people that's not the case, but for me it really is.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to this comment because I was just thinking about this. It could be that it was just showing one because it wasn't updating from when she first went in to watch the live. So that might be why.
Right. Yeah.
Ivy says she's in Southeast Missouri.
I got you. Too far for me to go for a meetup. I do have a son that lives in Missouri there. Yeah.
Going to the Jelly Roll in Gwen. So wait, that's Stefani, right? Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. I love Jelly Roll. I love Blake Shelton too.
Okay. I almost knocked my microphone over. If you saw that. It's been that's like the first time in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, have fun, Bill. Yeah. He says Stephanie. I think he meant Stefani, Gwen Stefani. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We're well over an hour and a half tonight. I have no idea what we're going to do for a topic yet next week. We'll have to get together and figure that one out. But we should probably kind of end this one. Johnny, any last words you want to say before we end the video tonight, the live?
No, just the wife and I are going to get in the car tomorrow morning. We're going to drive into Western North Carolina, and we're going to look at the leaves change. This is the time of the year when the leaves are really colorful. So looking forward to doing that with my wife tomorrow. If you guys get a chance, please check out my video from today. It's called Starting Over Again. So go on there and watch and listen to my talk and watch my sprints, because I tried to sprint again today. It's been 2 weeks since the injury. So show me some love, if you will. Watch that video, comment, and like it, and I appreciate you.
All right. And like usual, I do videos Monday, Wednesdays, Friday mornings. So I had one come out earlier today. If you want to check out, I have another one come out Friday. And we'll see you all next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, y'all.
I got to hit end. Okay, bye.